basically having autonomy for themselves. What does that do to a conference like the Mountain West?
Well, you know, we've got a great conference, and it's my first experience, but I know a lot of these men that are head coaches within there and see a lot of them play here. As much as what you're going to think all these differences that are out there, I think you're going to see great football in this league, and the margin of difference between the Big Five and the Mountain West, I think, is going to be very minimal. And so I think a lot of these things are overstated. Football is still a game of principles about blocking, tackling, and effort, and those things will still bear heads out. You'll still see great football within this league.
All right, thanks, Coach.
You bet.
Coach, going back to your coming into the Mountain West and making that decision, just curious, from where you came from, your relationship with UNLV coach Bobby, how did you speak to him before you made the change and get any advice?
No, but Bobby and I are good friends. We've been good friends for a lot of years. You know, I think some things came about so fast, and I had a pretty good understanding of what the University of Wyoming was about. Bobby and I had talked, you know, when he was at the University of Montana, we always, both of us, you know, we looked and said the Mountain West would be a great league for both of us to have an opportunity to coach in, and lo and behold, he's at UNLV and I'm at Wyoming.
Last year, he, you know, they always say it takes a few years to get your own program under your belt. Well, he, you know, finally got his team, and he makes a run to a bowl game. Does that kind of add some inspiration and confidence for you in coming to Wyoming and helping?
Well, their formula is, in Bobby and I, there's a lot of similarities on how our programs have operated through the years, and it gives credence to the fundamental things that I believed in, and I think Bobby'd say the same thing. It's not a lot of fun when you're going through that process, but I was really happy to see the results that they had.
Why are you confident personally in that your program, in that your scheme of things that you ran up in North Dakota, that you can bring to Wyoming and it will work?
Sure. Well, I think a couple things. There's some similarities. You know, the years that I spent at the University of Nebraska, which was a sparsely populated area, a certain brand of football that we had, and then the 11 years that we had at NDSU. And I think, so then you always wonder, okay, well, what level will this work at? And it really hit me after we beat Kansas State, and I have a great deal of respect for Bill Snyder and the Kansas State program. And after we were able to defeat them in the first game, it wasn't a fluke. It wasn't because of 5 turnovers. They gave me a firm conviction. If we can do this model in Fargo, it will work in Laramie. And I think there's a lot of similarities between the style of play and the nature of the people in both states.
How do you look at your team coach and what you have, and kind of just your outlook, you know, what you guys need to do right this in your first year?
Well, you know, I think we need to capitalize on the things that we can do well, minimize our mistakes. And I know that sounds like an overstatement, but when you're establishing a new program, I think it's important to really know who you are. And so the things that we'll need to do is be disciplined and not go out and shoot ourselves in the foot. I think more teams lose on Saturday than win. You know, we need to take that formula into play. The other thing we need to do is really, it's easy to say cowboy tough. Well, you know, I was talking with one of our beat writers. You'll know when that team has changed when you see it, and somebody says, well, how will you know? Well, you'll just know. And that's a process when you get into physical style football. It doesn't come about overnight. That's not a schematic thing. That's a mindset. And I think that's really going to be important that we keep on building on that physical style of play.
I know you don't know a ton probably about all the teams in this conference yet, but I mean, how do you shape up this league?
Well, boy, what an exciting league, and all kinds of different schemes, and that makes it even more challenging. You know, certainly, you know, our big rival is Colorado State, and we've watched them a great deal through the years. And then you have all the different brands of football, from everything from Hawaii to Mexico to San Jose. And so it's challenging. I know there's a lot of hours spent Sunday night in the film room as a coach, because every week's a new